Okay, kids, so we're back again. Um, just a brief check-in. I never got to finish my story because my phone rang. Yep, that was my doctor's office. My doctor's out of the office until I believe Monday. Today is Saturday, November 29th. Um, so yeah, my doctor's office called me, said that because my doctor was out, I had to do a telehealth with stand-in. So guy gets on the phone, says we're using the app to record this call. Is that okay with you? AI app. So I said, of course, yes. He says, what do you need? I said, I need my Klonopin refilled. He says, oh, I see here you're coming off of your Klonopin. I said, no, I'm not. He said, well, you need to come off the Klonopin. We're going to cut it down to half a dose every day. So I'm taking 0.25 in the morning, 0.25 in the evening. He wants to cut it down to 0.25 every day. I said, no, we're not. He says, well, you do need to come off of the Klonopin. And I said, I'm well aware of that. I'm currently in protracted withdrawal from another psychiatric medication, my antidepressant. And he says, you're in what? I had forgotten that Dr. Joseph recommends that you do not tell them that you're in protracted withdrawal because they don't know what that means. And so I said, I'm in withdrawal from an antidepressant, and I have been since May. He says, well, we really do need to cut down on your Klonopin. And I said, so why don't you tell me what your tapering method is? And he didn't answer me for a second. And then he said, well, I'm going to write you a script for a week. I said, okay, that's fine. Thank you. I was livid. I was so mad. So then I got on my clinic's website, and come to find out, this guy can't even be half my age. I'm 60. His picture, he's got friggin' a man bun and a beard, and he looks like a surfer wearing a medical coat. And he's a family medicine nurse practitioner. And I'm thinking, what right does he have, after talking to me for 15 seconds, to try to adjust my psych meds? And then I started thinking about it, and I know that this particular clinic is using an AI program, so every time she telehealths me, we go through the AI program. So I'm wondering if this AI program is recommending health treatment. And if it is, that concerns me even more. Sorry, I'm not working. I'm smoking a cigarette. So anyway, I called my doctor's office back and left a message for her medical assistant to find out when my regular doctor will be in, and to let her know that Dr. Dookie Hauser tried to cut my psych meds in half. I don't understand if he did it because the AI program told him to do it. I don't understand if he did it just because it's a state-run clinic and they don't like handling psych meds, especially benzo. That's not true. They don't like handling benzodiazepines. They have no problem prescribing any other garbage. So anyway, I got my week's worth. It's Saturday. I have to call on Monday to see about getting them refilled. And in my last video, I did talk about trying my antidepressant, taking 10 milligrams at night and 10 milligrams in the morning. And I felt awful. So I'm back to sticking. I still feel pretty lousy from this new manufacturer's medication. But I'm hanging in. Smoking too much. My akathisia is crazy. My oral TD is really acting up. I know that's mostly from the withdrawal. I don't remember where I was in my psychiatric history video. I remember talking about my ex living with his mother. Ultimately found our own place. At that point in time, we had a new baby. Honestly, I was going out drinking and partying all the time. So, needless to say, about a year after the baby was born, I figured out he was cheating on me. It wasn't even a year. It was like a month before our son's first birthday. Now, mind you, by this time we had already been together for like 15 years. So yeah, I packed up all his stuff, threw it out in front of the trailer, called him, told him to come and get it. So it was me and the baby. I moved out of there about a month later, 2 months later. Got my own place, started going back to college, got a job, still partying on the weekends, wasn't doing crack at that time. And then one night, a friend I hadn't seen in a while come over. The baby was in bed. No, the baby was gone for the weekend. He wanted to know if I could get him any rocks, and stupid me was like, yeah, sure, let's go over here. And then it was downhill with the crack for me. And during that period of time, I met someone right at the very beginning. I met someone. Needless to say, we both wound up addicted, hooked on crack, selling food stamps. I can remember laying in bed after binging. It was just turning daylight. We had just gone to bed. And I'm crying, thinking, oh, we sold most of our food stamps. How am I going to feed my child? By that time, he had been arrested. We sold acid to a cop. Compliments of a neighbor next door to us. Family member of theirs. So yeah, he went to jail. I did drugs. Went into outpatient rehab. It took me about a year and a half. maybe not quite, to get clean and sober. See, I thought I could quit doing the crack, but keep partying on the weekends. And the only problem is that the drinking ultimately led me to the crack. So yeah, he was in jail. I was trying to get clean and sober. He was clean and sober. He went from jail to a halfway house. I did eventually get clean. My last use date was December 31st, 1999. So yeah, I've been clean from crack for 25, wow, going on 26 years. Okay, when I went into outpatient rehab, they prescribed me Wellbutrin. I didn't like it. It really kills the old sexual drive. I can't say the drive, it's the release. And so then they invented another kind of Wellbutrin, less side effects, doesn't seem to affect the sexual drive. It made me super depressed, so then I went from that to Celexa. Finished, even though I was clean and sober, we stayed in the facility, or I should say kept going to the facility for family therapy, because by that time the therapist knew who we were. So while I was clean and sober at the beginning of 2000 or mid 2000, I got pregnant. By then, my oldest was 8. When I got pregnant, I had to go off the meds. And my pregnancy was horrible. Just horrible. The relationship I was in, I shouldn't have been in. He was almost 15 years younger than I am. And we were together for almost 20 years. And in that period of time, I wound up going from only a couple meds I'm trying to think because there was a period of time between when I had the baby. I believe I was on a mild dose of Celexa most of that time. Just started going to the doctor more regularly. I feel like I'm wasting my time doing this. So anyway, going to the doctor pretty regularly, started dealing with some pain in my feet and my ankles. So yes, I was depressed. I had 2 family members that were alcoholics. My mother was an alcoholic. She was a functioning alcoholic. She worked a good job for a long time. She would come home and on her way home she'd hit the store for a bottle. I didn't find out until after she passed away just how long she'd been drinking, and the only reason I knew is because I kind of inherited her old calendars. And I noticed that there were a lot of days that she marked when she had drank, which I thought kind of bizarre. Um, I knew she wanted to quit drinking. She, we went through a couple rounds. Um, so anyway, her drinking ultimately is what killed her. Oh God, I just saw that I've got. I must be. I must. Oh, that's it. Okay. So anyway, all right. Let's get to the crux of the story. In 2006, my oldest son, who was having trouble, took a knife to school, got arrested, expelled. Um, so we both went into therapy. They started him on meds. They started me on meds. And for me, it was a med roller coaster. So since approximately, it was either 2005, 2006, I rode the med roller coaster going from one med to another. Either they made me suicidal or they pooped out. Most of them I had bad reactions to. I'm highly med sensitive. Uh, so yeah, I have probably been on 30 different psych medications. I had a list. Maybe not 30, maybe 20. Um, so yeah, since about 2006, I had a regular therapist, a regular psychiatrist. Even though I have gone through 3 different psychiatrists. So yeah, riding the med roller coaster, switching up the psych meds, and in the meantime, due to health issues, um, I ultimately wound up, by 2022, I was taking 18 different medications. I had a heart attack in 2017 due to an NSAID allergy. So I can't take any kind of anti-inflammatories. And when I had the heart attack, they slapped on 6 meds immediately. Uh, so yeah, it has taken the last 3 years for me to go from all of those meds down to 4 psych meds, a blood sugar med, and 4 psych meds, blood sugar, asthma, and urge incontinence in the evening. So I am to the point. So I've gotten off of almost all the other meds. I am currently now trying to get off of the psych meds. Um, I don't know what else to add. Just that I'm tired. I'm sick of feeling like this. It's been since May. I thought I was doing better until I got the new manufacturer. Um, and I'm just kind of confused because honestly, I don't start feeling really crappy until about 11, 11:30. And by then, I've taken my morning meds. Now, I take the antidepressant in the evening before bed. I take Celexa in the morning. I'm I'm down from 25 daily to 10. But I'm beginning to wonder if I have cut down my antidepressant and it is causing the SSRI to seem stronger. And I do know that when you're tapering, your neurons and stuff become more sensitive. Dr. Horowitz says no dual tapering, the outro clinic. So I'm not tapering anything right now, though I do have the liquids for my SSRI and my antidepressant. And I told myself I wasn't going to mess with my meds anymore. But this is just going on and on. So I'm wondering if the SSRI that I'm taking in the morning is what is causing me to feel so crappy by about 11:30, and if I should be doing a very slow taper off of it. I'm tired. I'm sick of feeling like crap. I'm sick of not having any help from anybody that knows anything. Um, I did get a free invite on a Zoom call with Dr. Horowitz from the Outro Clinic. And I did ask if multi-tapering can be done, and they, of course, said no, it is not recommended. And I know that when we feel like crap like this, we kind of become obsessed and desperate. So I don't know what to do. The urge to do something to make myself feel better is just, yeah, an obsession. We made it through Thanksgiving. Ah, oh, thank you, God. Who, as usual, provided everything we needed. I didn't have a big mess to clean up. My Christmas shopping is almost done. Again, thank you, God, for providing the ability for me to buy Christmas gifts for my guys. I fired my psychiatrist. I actually fired my psychiatrist last year in June or July of last year, 2024. God, I don't remember if I told this. Anyway, I was forced off of my benzo. Alright, I'm done.